Hi everyone, I'm back after my summer break. During June, July, and August, I work at a summer camp in the US. I love doing it. It's great to get away from the markets, get away from a computer at a desk, spend more time outside, spend more time away from technology, get a bit of a reset. But I'm back now and I'm really determined to help more people with their trading. And I kind of figured that the best way to do that would be to change up the videos I'm doing slightly and go for more concepts of improvement. So for the next few weeks, maybe longer, I'm going to upload a video on the weekend or start of the week on a way that you right now can go ahead and just make an immediate improvement in your trading. Maybe it's how you look at it, maybe it's something to do with psychology, but actual topics that I think you'll find really helpful. Um, I've also made a move away from my old site and moved to my brand new site, Mindful Traders Academy. I've got big plans for this. At the moment, it's essentially housing my coaching programs, which I'm going to get onto in a second. But it's also going to have a lot of resources on here in the future. So really excited for this. I think it's going to be an awesome opportunity for a lot of traders to come in and actually make meaningful improvements in their performance. The flagship thing that I decided on, I went back and forth on this idea for a while, was having a more focused, longer period of time to help traders. So at the moment, my coaching has been, you get two calls spread over about a month. The first call is 3 hours to understand the underlying weaknesses in your performance and create a plan to resolve them and improve trading. Pretty much every client I had found that to be incredibly useful. They saw amazing success in those following weeks, but then that success kind of began to plateau and taper off as they fell back into old habits. So the idea of this is that you have a performance coach alongside you for 3 months. We create a plan for you so that you're improving your performance based on your biggest underlying flaws. We look to resolve those and progress your performance. And you have a call with me every single week. My goal here is anybody who has a strategy which they know makes money, an edge in the market that they know works, but they can't make money from it themselves because of their own performance. I want to take every trader in that situation who comes to me and joins this academy and help them become a profitable trader. Now, I can't promise that, but what I'm going to explain more in this video is that really, if you have an edge in the market and it's just a performance holding you back, there's no reason why we can't do that. So if you're in a situation right now where you know you have an edge and you just cannot seem to execute it for whatever reason, I would strongly recommend you check this out. The link's going to be down below. See if it's for you. I'm also offering, let's come all the way down here. I'm also offering a free 30-minute consultation. Again, the link's going to be down below. If you just want to have a quick chat with me and be like, hey, I don't know what I need to do to improve my performance. I don't know where to go. This is where I'm struggling, and you'd like some advice from myself. Definitely book a call. We can discuss what options I can do to help you with and what things you can do on your own. So it's a free call. You've got nothing to lose. So book now, and yeah, I'll see you on that. So back to today's concept. So today's concept is going to be the 3 pillars that you need to be successful in trading. And the reason I created this is because I think all traders out there, or the vast majority of traders out there, get stuck on one thing, which we can go through, and that isn't what makes them successful. I went through this myself. My best friend, one of my best friends who's a trader, my best trading friend, I should say, uh, he's going through this exact thing right now, and it's difficult to see because from the outside it's obvious, but if you haven't really thought about it, it's not always clear. So I'm going to go through the 3 pillars, and essentially, if you can nail each one of these three, there's literally no reason why you're not going to be making money. The reason you are not making money right now is because you are not executing one of these things. So let's go through them. Number one is edge identification. This is essentially things like, okay, when I have a one, if you're someone who trades low float stocks, if I have a stock that is up X amount during the pre-market, so it's up 80% pre-market, and it's done certain amount of volume during the pre-market, then I'm aware that that is a situation where I now know there is a heightened probability of there being a sell-off at some point during the day. Uh, it could be that when you identify a really key level in the market on a stock that has a pretty strong fundamental catalyst or a pretty strong technical catalyst, maybe we've got a very strong ascending triangle on the charts, whatever it is on the daily charts, that when that level breaks, there is a heightened probability that there will be momentum traders coming in, and therefore it's a good breakout opportunity. It could be that you understand that at certain times of day, scalping is really good and breakout's really good, and other times of day, it's good to not take those. And it could also be something like, okay, my edge also comes from the fact that there's a certain instrument where maybe the pricing is there's a mismatch in pricing. So using options, for example, during a breakout, the value of the options can be stretched beyond the actual price because they're they're contracts for the future, whatever it may be. This is essentially, if you're aware of what blackjack card counting is, this is essentially being aware of when you have a positive count. This is knowing that you have a situation where you believe there is a heightened probability of there being a tradable move in the near future, right? This is obviously pretty critical because what I found a lot is that if you just take your strategy, which is a profitable strategy in terms of like the chart pattern, how you get in, etc., and you apply it to any time of day on any stock, it becomes a very, very negative strategy. So that is edge identification, and it's pretty important. In fact, all of these are very important. Second pillar is your strategy to extract profit. By this, I mean you need a reason or a point to enter and a point to exit, right? This is probably the most focused pillar. This is the one that you see so many courses being sold on. This is my secret strategy. This is how I made X amount. All it's doing is showing you why someone's getting in and why they are getting out, where they get in, where they get out, what the chart pattern on the 1 minute, on the 5 minute, on the hour, whatever it is. That's all they're showing you. The problem, as I said, is if you apply that same strategy without the edge identification, then you're trading a losing strategy. Okay, so this is essentially what you can control. You've identified that there's an edge in the market. You've identified there's a probability of a stock or futures contract, whatever it is, going higher. Fantastic. You don't know when it's going to. You don't know even if it's going to. You just know that there's a higher chance that it does and give a big move, whatever it may be. How you enter the trade and how you control your risk rewards is essentially how you then make money from that opportunity. Okay, this is essentially, again, if we go back to the blackjack thing, it's saying, okay, I know the count is now +9, so it's a really good opportunity. Now you need to actually play good blackjack strategy. You need to know when to hit, when to stand, when to split. I don't know blackjack all that well, but when to apply the correct strategy. Okay, and then the final pillar is trading performance, and this is really my area that I work with traders in, which is things like how are you preparing for the day, how are you tracking your emotions throughout the day, so you become aware of, hey, you know what, I'm right now at a 4 out of 10 and I need to begin doing some stuff to bring my emotions back down. How are you resolving your underlying flaws? How are you looking at your journal to see where you're making mistakes, right? Overall, how are you executing your strategy? And I like to see this as your trading fitness. This is essentially the point where how can you make sure that you are not making those dumb mistakes over and over? How are you not giving into FOMO? How are you not giving into boredom or greed or whatever it may be? Now, the reason I like this concept of 3 pillars is you can sort of go away now and figure out where are you weakest. So a lot of people who I speak to, they are very confident on their strategy. They would be able to tell me, yeah, this is exactly how I trade. I get in here and I get out here, and they can show me the profitable trades, and they can show me when I execute this well, I'm doing a good job. Great. I always ask those people, do you know when your edge is at its strongest? Because quite often what I find is traders they'll have, say, a breakout strategy, and they'll show me what their strategy looks like. Great. And I then ask them, okay, when is this most profitable? When is the edge at its biggest? And they realize they don't really know. And what they have to do is they have to gather all of the information of all of the legitimate breakouts they've had and begin sifting through them and saying, okay, when am I actually winning most? And they'll find things like, oh, before 10:30, this seems to work better than after 10:30. So my edge is before 10:30. They work better on levels that have been tagged more than once because they're clearer levels. So, okay, now you can identify your edge better, right? Some people, it's a case of they're really good at identifying their edge. They might say, hey, I've got this really cool way of knowing when, of having criteria of when stocks are up a certain amount. I know that there's an 85% chance that they're going to close on the day red, but I still can't make money from them. And I ask, well, how are you getting in? And they don't really have an exact strategy on how to get in. Okay, great. Now you can look back through those 100 charts, whatever that you saved, that you can say my edge is present, and go, how could I have got in these? What would have been the best way to do that? And then naturally, most traders do not pay much attention to their trading performance. And quite often I will work with a trader and I'll pull up their trading journal and say, okay, let's separate into the trades which you say these were correct and these were dumb mistakes. And instead of it being like, I don't know, 75% correct, 25% mistakes, it's the other way around. And 75% of their trades are actually mistakes, right? Now, the cool thing about this is if you are in that category of saying, hey, I know exactly what my strategy is, I know when my edge is present, but I keep screwing up because I take one dumb trade a day and one trade where it wasn't quite my setup a day, and if I take all of those out, then I'm profitable, then you can pretty easily say, I need to now focus just on my trading performance. I know I've got a kick-ass strategy, I know when my edge is, now it's the trading performance side of things. So what I would really suggest for anybody watching this to do is just to take a moment and to go, okay, what is my edge? Do I know how to identify my edge? If you do, then how do you make money from that? If you know all of that, how are you performing? Look back and see where you're, how often you're making mistakes, right? Because if you're not making money, one of these pillars is going to be failing you in some way, or two of the pillars, or maybe three of the pillars, right? So again, if you're interested in any form of coaching whatsoever, or are interested in finding out how you can improve on your performance, make sure to book in that free call with me. I am only going to be offering that for a certain period of time. I don't know how long yet. I don't want to be speaking to, hundreds of people over the next couple of months. I want to limit that. I want to make sure that the people that I work with are the ones who are completely committed to improving. So, I'm limiting spaces in my academy to 10 traders maximum. If you are interested in that, book in a free call. We can discuss it and we can get you sorted out for that. And yeah, I'll be back making videos now far more regularly. Sorry again for the break. Hope you understand, and I'll see you all again in the next video.